our Sixers have not looked the best recently. So Friday night, ESPN, we got our butts kicked at home by the New York Knicks, and our butts kicked against Utah without Embiid. And Nick Nurse was not happy at all about it. Had a whole scathing thing about it. We got the quote right here. Obviously, the easy way out is to say, "Oh, we're beat up and we don't have enough people." But I can't accept that as a coach. There's a way we want to play regardless of who's out there, and that's what I gotta do to make sure to nip it. Do you guys agree with Coach Nurse on what he's got to say about the last two games?
Yeah, I'm big on not making excuses for when you don't play well or guys being out. That's why you got a team. So you got to figure it out. Yeah, you don't have your best player. Yes, that matters, but the schedule you still got to play the games. So you got to find a way to win a game. You got to find a way to be productive when guys come out. I mean, if not, then if a guy get injured in the playoffs, you may say, "Oh, well, we just forfeit. Let somebody else take our place." Mm-hmm. Like, well, you can't make the excuses. You got to play. So I'm not for all that complaining when the guys are out. I don't get that. But I don't think people care. I mean, you look at the standings, and they put the standings in there based on wins and losses, and they have no column that says, well, this game Joel and other guys didn't play. That doesn't exist.
Those are fan excuses.
Find a way to get it done. Huh? Yeah, I'm just saying, like, they don't have a column for that.
No. They have us to say that for them, actually. Be like, well, Embiid didn't play. That's why we lost, right?
Yeah.
And you guys, and your team in the playoffs, didn't you guys win? How many games did AI miss that playoffs? He missed one, right? No. One or two? He didn't miss any?
One. I think he missed. I think he missed that one in Milwaukee. Was it game 5?
And you won.
Or game,
right?
No,
look it up right now.
We lost. We almost won. I think it was game 3. We lost game 2 and 3. I think it was 3. We almost won, or either 4, 3 or 4.
Yeah. You lost
Milwaukee. We almost won.
Yeah, it was game 1, 2, 3. Game 3.
Yeah,
game 3.
Because we had
lost. It was the first one at Milwaukee.
2. Yes, and then we lost game 2, and then we ended up winning game 4 when he came back.
Yep. But hey, I mean, you lost by 6.
That's the game I re-broke my ankle. Game 4.
The one he came back?
Mm-hmm. When I re-broke it. And then game 5 is when they announced that it was broken. But it happened in game 4. Sam Cassell, the same Zaza rule. I landed on his foot. It happened both times. And it happened with David Wesley the year before, and when the first time it happened. Second time it happened, Sam did it. Same exact play.
Damn.
Brutal.
And like people say all those dirty plays. Like we didn't never really seen that as dirty plays because like we were all taught to contest the shot. When guys went up, like that's how you were taught to play to contest. Like we weren't taught to watch his landing. Like no one. We're trying to get people hurt, but that's not what the conversations were about as far as contest. It was all defense were, get under him, contest, hand in the face. Like, I'm glad they put it in. Wish the rule was in when he played.
Yeah, it might have saved your second one if it happened after the Wesley one. Yeah. Do you think they put it in because the Zaza one was so high profile and in the playoffs, or do you think it was just happening at a higher rate? I never really thought about that before.
Yeah, it was probably it was more attention was being brought to it. It wasn't something that had never happened in a while. I've been accused of doing it, and I can tell you that honestly, I've never. And I don't even know how to intentionally do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the way to clean it up is just make people focus on it, and that's how you do it. So, okay, you don't close out like this, don't do this, and you practice it. Sort of like what Tom Brady was saying, like you got to practice throws where guys don't get hit, or you got to practice getting like the whole thing. Like if you put a rule in, then guys will abide by the rule and practice that way, so they won't practice closer closeouts to a shooter. So now you kind of know I have to give them room, I have to give them space to land, and that's what you'll do based on what the rule allows.
And it still happens, which goes to show you how hard it is to avoid it sometimes.
It's hard. It's hard if you're trying to contest, because say, for instance, you contesting not even a guy like Kevin Durant. That's not even fair. Like just a guy that's taller than you. So if I'm like Nicholas, like Tobias, for instance, who's not as tall as KD, but if a guy is smaller trying to contest him, if you aren't, the further away you are, like you're not impacting his shot at all.
Yeah.
And you're taught not to jump because that's bad defense.
Yeah. And ironically, Embiid hurt his leg or ankle falling on someone's foot. That was a layup, so it's different, but still. I'm actually surprised. I say this all the time. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. As big as basketball players' shoe sizes are, and all of them jammed in the paint, I'm surprised it doesn't happen all the time, like 5 times a game, 6 times.
They don't contest at a high rate like they used to. Guys contest now and they kind of run to the side. They'll run to the side.
Layups or rebounds in the paint, like grabbing a rebound in the paint. I'm just surprised it doesn't happen like every other play. I'm amazed at that. Just think of this. Think of the space.
But people sort of, you get it. You understand it. Like when people jump and have the space to jump, like you're not in position. If someone's jumping and they're rebounding, if you come into that position, you'll hit them before they land. So it won't just be they land on your feet, because you'll hit them before they come down. So it'll be more of whether you knock them off, where they falling forward, guys falling on their arms and legs and all, they falling off balance more so than them landing on your foot. That's usually more in a jump shot with a contest, or a guy running and you step on your foot or something like that, more so than a rebound.
That's true. As far as going back to your question, Marcus, yeah, I mean, I agree with Nurse's comments, especially when you play teams like the Jazz, who are playing better. They're playing really well as of late, but you should be able to win some of these games even without Embiid. Like we shouldn't, getting blown out with him with the Knicks, although that game was crazy. They had more made 3-pointers in the first half than we had attempted. Like they were on fire. They couldn't miss that game. That was like they're like, okay, forget about it. Game's over game. But the Jazz, you should be able to pull that kind of game out. If you're an elite team, you want to be considered an elite team, even without your best player, your guys need to show up for it and beat, inferior opponents. So, and it's basketball. Every other game, someone's out. Like, so you can't go around saying, "Oh, we should lose this game because so and so's out," or "We should win this game because so and so's out."
It's fair. A lot of the Villanova guys back in Philly too. Hart, Brunson, DiVincenzo, all those guys are back. Thriving on the Philly crowd. So there you go.
Yeah, there are 3 guys from that. Yeah, that's true.
Get some juice in that one.